Thanks for tuning in for football predictions and wine pairings with me, Francis. If you're not subscribing, I don't know what you're waiting for, but I'd love for you to be here regularly. Now, let's talk about the two games that we're going to see today. There's only two. We have the NFC Championship title game and the AFC Championship title game. The first game is the NFC Championship game. It's going to be at 12 o'clock Pacific time. It's going to be the Washington Commanders versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I did not expect the Washington Commanders to be here this week. I thought for sure they were going to lose last week to Detroit. I mean, honestly, I think all of America thought that they were going to lose last week to Detroit. But none of us saw Detroit having 5 turnovers during that game. And then the Commanders scoring basically every time that Detroit turned over the ball. It was a crazy game. I was completely shocked, as were many other people. Now, Philadelphia is a 6-point favorite going into this game. But I just kind of feel like Jaden Daniels is on some kind of a rookie lead sensation. I don't even know the right word to describe what's happening with him. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Commanders. It's out on a limb. You know, I like Jalen Hurts very much, and I would like it to happen for Philadelphia, right? But I find it so much more exciting to root for the Commanders when they have this great quarterback who has just been amazing all season, and nobody was expecting anything from him. They were like, look, if you could be 500, that would be incredible because we weren't 500 last year. So I'm going to take the Commanders. Now, the second game is the one that many people are like really hyped about, and that's going to be at 3 o'clock Pacific time, and that is the AFC Championship game. And that game is featuring the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. It's going to be in Kansas City. Now, Kansas City and Buffalo have met earlier this season, and the Bills gave Kansas City their first loss of the season in week 11. And as you may or may not know, Kansas City only has 2 losses. This one to the Bills and another one to the Broncos. Coming into this game, Kansas City is only a 2-point favorite. But I'm still picking Kansas City because I got a lot of things going for them. One, they're playing at home, and Arrowhead can be extremely loud and super unhospitable for foreign teams. 2, they are 11-0 right now. And they have never, I repeat, never lost a playoff game at home. So I don't think tomorrow's going to be the day. Listen, I'm excited for the Bills that they got this far. You know, I like Josh Allen. I like what they're doing there. I recognize that they're trying to turn that team around, and this is really probably one of the best looks that they've had at it. But as long as Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are in your league, you're going to have a hard walk to walk. Because the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes are amazing at winning the playoffs. So, sorry, Bills fan. Now, let's talk about the wine. So, I'm going to be making a queso fundido, and for those of you who don't know what that is a big melted cheese dish. And so it's very rich, and I'll be adding chorizo, so it's also going to be kind of spicy. So to kind of offset that wine, I thought, you know, this dish is a Mexican dish. How about we have some Mexican wine? And so today we're going to be having some wine from one of my most recent trips to Mexico. And it is Don Luis Cetto 2022 Viognier. And, you know, we've had Viognier on this show before because I'm a huge fan. And it can come from a multitude of places, but I think they do a really nice job here in Mexico, and specifically the Valle de Guadalupe. So when you take a look in the glass, you'll see that it is a really fair, faint gold color, you know, and that's because they're aging it in stainless steel. So it's not going to get any additional color from oak or any kind of wood that it's coming in contact with, because it has no wood contact. On the nose, I'm getting lime zest, you know, a little citrus zest, wet stone. Yes, this is one that we haven't had in a while, but it is definitely wet stone and white flowers. On the tongue, there's a great deal of salinity. So, you know, that's like a little bit of saltiness. Where this winery is, it's not really that far. It's less than 100 miles away from a body of water. So that often happens when you have wineries that are fairly close to water. You do get an additional saltiness that just kind of appears in the ground because of the proximity to the water. I'm also getting mandarin and grapefruit on here, as well as a little bit of minerality. Salinity and minerality often go hand in hand, and so that's why I'm not surprised to be having them both. This is what I would consider kind of a high acid wine. You know, I'm feeling it on the side of my tongue, and right when I had the first sip, it gives you a little bit of a punch, and then it kind of tails off. It is an excellent wine. Now, one of the things that you may not know, Cetto is the largest winery in all of Mexico, and they are not the oldest. I found out that the oldest is Casa Madero, and they were founded in 1751. It was actually planted by St. Thomas Aquinas. For you Catholic types, you'll know what that means. But this winery was planted in 1928. A Don Luis Cetto came from Italy to Mexico and decided to become a winemaker. And so this winery has been in the same family for 7 generations. And it's a super enjoyable wine. It could be a little bit tricky to get in the States, but there are many places that you can get Mexican wine. And there's been an increase of Mexican wine availability throughout the nation. So I would say to you, seek it out because it is absolutely delicious. It's one of my favorites, so I'm happy to be sharing it. All right, let's recap what we have going on this week. 1, go ahead and take the Commanders. Let's go out on a limb and do something crazy. Let's take the Commanders. 2, just strap in because now Kansas City is going to be going to the Super Bowl 3 years in a row, okay? There's no way the Bills are going to get past them. Get your hands on a bottle of Cetto, Don Luis Cetto, Viognier 2022. Also, you're going to want to come back later on and I will finally be cooking something. So I'll have a video of me preparing the queso fundido. All right, everybody. I'll see you soon. Cheers.